All right, let's dive into something pretty cool today.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at Canada and how they're becoming like a global leader in AI.
Yeah.
I was reading this article just the other day. It was posted on November 6th, 2024.
Oh, wow. Just a few days ago.
Yeah, on a website called TATANKA.
Okay.
It's titled Pan-Canadian AI Strategy, Fueling Innovation and Global Competitiveness. And
Nice.
one of the things that really blew my mind is they were the first country in the world to launch a national AI strategy
Yeah.
back in 2017.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So that's what we're going to be looking at today.
Cool.
And to help us unpack all this, we've got our AI expert with us today.
Hey, glad to be here.
Okay, so the Pan-Canadian AI strategy was launched in 2017
Right.
with a $125 million investment,
Okay.
and then they pumped in another $443 million in 2021.
Wow, that's serious.
What were they trying to achieve with all that?
Well, it's interesting because it's not just about the funding itself. It's about how they've kind of structured it. So this strategy is really unique because they bring together government support,
Okay.
top academic research,
Got it.
and a really strong push for collaboration between universities and businesses. So it's like this kind of three-pronged approach that's really helped to propel things forward.
I see. And the article mentions some specific institutions like
Yes.
Mila in Montreal, the Vector Institute in Toronto, and then AMI in Edmonton.
Right.
Are these kind of the big players in Canada?
Yeah, these are really like the cornerstones of the Canadian AI scene. And they all kind of have their own specialty. You know, Mila is all about that like machine learning and deep learning.
Right.
Those techniques that allow AI to kind of learn from data.
Got it.
The Vector Institute is focused more on applying AI to different fields.
Okay.
So that's healthcare, finance, even art.
Interesting.
And AMI up in Edmonton, they're doing groundbreaking work with reinforcement learning,
Okay.
which is training AI to make decisions in complex environments. They're also really big on AI optimization in industries.
I see.
So making things more efficient and all that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And the article also mentions the AI Chairs program, which is supported by CFAR.
Right.
What is that all about?
Oh, that's a really cool program. It's basically
Yeah.
identifying the leading experts in AI, you know, like the rock stars of the field, and giving them the resources and the freedom to tackle really big research questions.
Interesting.
It's like saying, here's a blank check, go change the world with AI.
Wow.
It's a pretty amazing opportunity for those researchers.
That's quite an investment. But it's not just about the algorithms in the research labs, is it?
No, it's not.
The article brings in this investor, Ava Chang.
Yeah.
She seems pretty impressed with what Canada is doing.
What's interesting about Ava is she's not just looking for any AI investment opportunity.
Right.
She's specifically looking for innovation that comes from collaboration and strong vision. And she seems to be finding both of those things thriving in Canada's AI ecosystem.
I see. Yeah, she actually visits the Vector Institute and meets Dr. Mark Sanderson,
Right.
who's using machine learning to try and make cancer diagnoses more accurate.
Yeah, that's some really cutting-edge work.
That is, and it seems like they're really focused on solving these real-world problems.
Absolutely. It's not just about, like, theoretical advancements, but about making a tangible difference in people's lives. That's one of the things that sets Canada apart in the AI landscape.
It's like they're saying, hey, let's not just talk about it, let's actually use AI to make the world a better place.
Exactly. That's the driving force behind a lot of the work being done.
That's pretty inspiring.
It is. It's really exciting to see the potential of AI being harnessed for good.
And it seems like Ava is really drawn to the Canadian approach to responsible AI development.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of concerns about AI being used unethically, right?
Of course.
And Canada's really taking that seriously.
Yeah.
Which is another really remarkable aspect of their AI strategy.
Right.
So you see this holistic model where investment, innovation, and this commitment to responsible development all come together to create solutions that have a global impact.
Okay, so we've got the big picture.
Yeah?
Canada's AI strategy is ambitious, it's unique, and it's focused on making a positive impact.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've laid the groundwork, I think we should dive deeper into some specific examples of how Canada's AI prowess is playing out on the world stage.
Okay, so you're talking about those tangible outcomes we were talking about?
Exactly. Let's look at how Canadian AI is actually making a difference in areas like healthcare, the environment, even things like agriculture.
All right, I am all ears.
Great. Well, let's jump right in.
Awesome.
So one area where Canada is really shining is healthcare.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about Dr. Sanderson and his work on improving cancer diagnoses with machine learning?
Right.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
Yeah, for instance, researchers at 𝗧𝗎,
Okay.
they've developed this AI algorithm that can predict the risk of heart failure with incredible accuracy.
Wow.
And they're using this to help doctors identify patients who need early intervention.
That's amazing. It's like having a superpowered crystal ball for heart health.
It really is, yeah.
That's so cool.
And it's not just about prediction either.
Okay.
up in Edmonton, they're using AI to personalize cancer treatments.
Wow.
So they're training algorithms to analyze a patient's genetic information and tailor the treatment plan to their specific needs.
That's next level stuff.
It is. It's all about getting the right treatment to the right patient at the right time.
Wow. It sounds like Canada is really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI in healthcare.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond healthcare, too.
Oh, okay.
They're using AI to tackle environmental challenges, improve transportation systems,
Okay.
even make agriculture more efficient.
Hold on. AI for farming. Tell me more about that.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
There are companies in Canada using AI to analyze satellite imagery and drone footage to monitor crop health,
Right.
optimize irrigation,
Wow.
even predict yields.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's all about making farming more sustainable and productive.
I never would have thought about AI being used on a farm.
Yeah, it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
But it makes sense. Technology can help us feed the world in a smarter way.
Precisely, and this is what makes Canada's AI strategy so compelling, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just about developing cutting-edge technology, it's about applying that technology to solve real-world problems that matter.
It sounds like they're taking a very human-centered approach to AI.
They are, yeah.
It's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about how it can improve our lives.
Exactly, and remember, they're doing all of this while prioritizing responsible development as well.
Right.
They're committed to making sure AI is used ethically and for the benefit of all.
And this brings us back to kind of the bigger picture. The article was published on TATANKA,
Yes.
which is a website focused on global indigenous wisdom.
Right.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that connection.
Well, it is a really interesting juxtaposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the surface, you might think, what does ancient wisdom have to do with cutting-edge technology?
Right.
But when you dig deeper, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, indigenous cultures have a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. This idea that we're all part of a larger web of life.
Yeah.
And this actually resonates really well with the potential of AI to address these global challenges that require a holistic and collaborative approach.
That's a really insightful way to look at it.
Yeah, it's about recognizing the interconnectedness of everything.
It's like we can learn from both the ancient and the modern,
Absolutely.
from the wisdom of the past and the innovations of the present,
Exactly, bringing those two together.
to create a better future.
Yeah, I love that. It's a beautiful way to put it.
So we've seen how Canada is leading the way in AI, but what does this mean for the rest of the world?
That's the big question, right? How might other countries learn from and adapt Canada's model?
It's a question I'm sure a lot of our listeners are wondering about.
Absolutely, and it's a topic that deserves a deeper dive.
Okay.
So let's explore that further in our next segment.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we're back.
Back again.
And before the break, we were talking about how Canada is using AI
Right.
to solve those real-world problems.
Exactly.
I'm curious to hear some more concrete examples of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So spill the beans.
Okay, well, one area where Canada is really shining is healthcare.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about Dr. Sanderson.
Yeah.
And his work on improving cancer diagnoses with machine learning.
Yeah.
That's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
For instance, researchers at 𝗧𝗎, they've developed this AI algorithm
Okay.
that can predict the risk of heart failure
Okay.
with incredible accuracy.
Wow.
They're using this to help doctors identify patients who need early intervention, which can be life-saving.
That's amazing.
It is.
It's like having a superpowered crystal ball for heart health.
It really is. It's like predicting the future of someone's health.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's not just about prediction either.
Okay.
Amy, up in Edmonton,
Yeah.
they're using AI to personalize cancer treatments.
Wow.
So they're training algorithms to analyze a patient's genetic information, and then they tailor the treatment plan to their specific needs.
Wow, that's next level stuff.
It is.
That's incredible.
It's all about getting the right treatment to the right patient at the right time.
It sounds like Canada's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI in healthcare.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond healthcare, too.
Oh, okay.
They're using AI to tackle environmental challenges,
Okay.
improve transportation systems,
Right.
even make agriculture more efficient.
Hold on.
Yeah.
AI for farming.
AI for farming.
Tell me more about that.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Uh-oh.
So there are companies in Canada using AI to analyze satellite imagery and drone footage to monitor crop health,
Okay.
optimize irrigation, and even predict yields.
That's really cool.
It is.
I never would have thought about AI being used on a farm.
It's not the first thing that comes to mind.
No, but it makes sense.
Right.
Technology can help us feed the world in a smarter way.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's really what makes Canada's AI strategy so compelling. It's not just about developing this cutting-edge technology.
Yeah.
It's about applying that technology to solve real-world problems that matter.
It sounds like they're taking a very human-centered approach to AI.
Very much so, yeah.
It's not just about the tech itself, but how it can improve our lives.
Exactly. And remember, Canada's doing all this while also prioritizing this responsible development.
Right.
They're committed to making sure AI is used ethically and for the benefit of all.
Yeah. And this brings us back to kind of the bigger picture. This article was published on TATANKA,
Yeah.
which is a website focused on global indigenous wisdom.
Right, right.
What are your thoughts on that connection?
Well, it is a really interesting juxtaposition. You know, on the surface, you might think, what does ancient wisdom have to do with cutting-edge technology?
Right.
But when you dig a little deeper, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Well, indigenous cultures have this deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things.
Okay.
This idea that we're all part of a larger web of life. And this actually resonates really well with the potential of AI to address global challenges that require this holistic and collaborative approach.
That's a really insightful way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's like we can learn from both the ancient and the modern.
Absolutely.
From the wisdom of the past and the innovations of the present.
Bringing those two together.
To create a better future.
Yeah, I love that. It's a beautiful way to put it.
So we've seen how Canada's leading the way in AI. But what does this mean for the rest of the world?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How might other countries learn from and adapt Canada's model?
Yeah, it's a question I'm sure our listeners are wondering about.
For sure. And it's a topic that deserves a deep dive of its own.
Okay.
So why don't we explore that further
Okay.
in our next segment?
So we're back and ready to tackle that big question. What can the world learn from Canada's AI journey?
It's a question a lot of people are asking, especially as AI becomes more and more powerful. You know,
Yeah.
Canada's approach is kind of like a breath of fresh air, showing that it's possible to be both innovative and responsible at the same time.
Right. It's like they're not just throwing money at AI and hoping for the best.
Right.
They have this clear strategy, a focus on real-world applications.
Yes.
And a commitment to ethical development.
Exactly. It's a really compelling model.
It is.
Yeah, and other countries are definitely taking notice.
So what are some of the key takeaways here? What can other countries learn from Canada's playbook?
Well, first and foremost, it's about having that clear national strategy.
Okay.
Canada's strategy, it sets a vision, identifies those priority areas, coordinates those efforts across government, academia, and industry.
It's like a roadmap.
It is. It's a roadmap for success.
Yeah. You need a plan. You can't just wing it with something like AI.
Exactly. You got to have a plan.
Especially something so transformative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another crucial lesson is the importance of investing in research and talent.
Okay.
Canada has poured resources into building world-class AI institutes like Mila, Vector, and AMI, attracting top researchers from all over the globe.
It's like they created these AI magnets.
They have, drawing in the best and brightest minds.
Yeah. And they're not just attracting talent, but they're nurturing it as well.
Absolutely. Canada's AI strategy emphasizes training and education, making sure there's a pipeline of skilled workers.
To support the growing AI industry.
Exactly. It's not just about the big brains at the top. Yeah. It's about building that whole ecosystem of AI expertise.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a solo sport. It's a team effort.
Very much so. Collaboration is key. Canada has fostered this culture of collaboration within its AI ecosystem.
Okay.
Researchers, businesses, policymakers, they're all working together to advance the field.
And this collaborative spirit extends beyond national borders too, right?
It does, absolutely. Yeah. Canada's actively engaging with other countries, sharing its expertise. and working to establish these international norms for responsible AI development.
It's like they're not just keeping their AI secrets to themselves.
Exactly.
They're sharing the knowledge.
They are.
And working together.
Collaborating.
To shape the global AI landscape.
It's a global effort, for sure.
Yeah, it ties back to what we were talking about earlier with indigenous wisdom.
Right.
That interconnectedness.
Exactly.
Like AI is something that will impact all of us, so we need to work together to ensure it's used for good.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
yeah,
what's the final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I think the big takeaway here is that the future of AI is being written right now. And it's not just being written in Silicon Valley or some high-tech lab.
Right.
It's being written in places like Canada.
Okay.
Where they're showing that it's possible to have both innovation and responsibility.
It's a good reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to be informed, we need to be engaged, and we need to demand that AI is used for good.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of Canadian AI.
It's been my pleasure.
It's been an eye-opener for sure. And for our listeners, if you're interested in learning more about this,
yes,
check out the article we linked in the show notes.
Definitely a great read.
It's a great starting point for exploring Canada's AI strategy and the amazing work that they're doing.
Yeah, lots to learn.
And don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more exploration
More deep dives
into the world's most fascinating topics.
Absolutely.
We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.
See you then.